What is up, guys? Today I want to show you what I bring to the track on a regular basis. Most of this stuff is what allows me to be able to maintenance the car on track, pretty much do anything that we need to on track. If I can't fix it with this box, I'm pretty much done for the day for the most part. This is not including, spare parts and stuff, but this is just mainly like odds and ends, things. Everything in here is what allows you to pretty much be able to, get your car going for like a race weekend or a drift weekend, stuff like that. So this is pretty much generally what I take. So I actually just got back from the track, so it's not going to be super clean, but I have toe plates right here. These are the long acre toe plates. Right. This is one of the best tools ever to have if you're going to be drifting, road racing, stuff like that. Unless you do like nitrogen stuff in your tires, this is amazing. It's compact. You don't have to lug around a huge tank of compressed air. It's accurate to a certain degree, but then you check it with your tire pressure gauge. But it's easy, it's fast, it's not too expensive, and it's super compact. I also take my jumper box for emergencies. I have on my toolbox, I got this is the Harbor Freight box. This is the older generation, it's not the new one. I got this little mini vise right here, and it does wonders. So this is kind of how I set it up. I have this that goes like this, and basically paper towel rack goes there. I think this was Husky from Home Depot, but yeah, Chemical Guys, OS Geiken, they sponsor me, so I have their stickers up there. And this is what the top of the box looks like. Basically, this is a Craftsman. This is an old school Craftsman set. This is actually my first set that I purchased, and it's the USA Craftsman set. So when I upgraded to a bigger box and I wanted new tools in the other box, this became my track set. Basically, this is an accumulation of things that I've put together over the last several years. You have Craftsman USA breaker bars. Really good set, very cheap, and these are the good ones. Husky screwdriver set. This box was made with the intent of not being super expensive, because what happens is when you're at the track, people come up to you and they're like, "Oh, hey, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that?" Cool, yeah, no problem. They'll take some shit, and then they never return it. Like, for example, deep 10 millimeter socket. It always goes missing. So stuff like that. Basically, I have from Harbor Freight, I have an e-torque socket set here. E-torque socket set here, and then all my standards. So I take the standards with me just because I didn't, you don't know what you're going to need, but I don't generally use standards on any of my cars. I try to keep it all metric, but I take them just in case. It's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it. Some Allens. These are the 12-point metrics, and I just have them on a rail because I don't really need them that often, but if I do need them, I have them as well. I have two 17 mil sockets right here. I use these. I put one on the torque wrench and one on the gun, so that way I don't have to keep switching out the socket. So have that 36 mil 12 point for the 46 E46 rear axle if I need to replace it, and just all the other metric and standard stuff. This is a really good tool to have on track. It's a set of, these are snap-on, but this is a set of wobble sockets, and I got these secondhand. I think they were like $100, but really good set to have. And so and these actually are drilled on the inside compared to my Matco set. These are actually better because if there's a stud or something, you won't need the deep the deep version, these actually go pretty deep. So these are pretty good. Really good set to have as well. These are trash. Don't buy these. I would buy a decent Allen key set. These are the Craftsman Evolve line. I have broken that same Allen like 5 times, and they don't warranty out, and it's trash. I would definitely invest in a decent Allen set, but you do need an Allen socket set, and a Torx socket set. Really good to have, but when you need them, you need them. But yeah, I just haven't had a chance to buy a nice set of that. And then pretty much the way this toolbox came about was anytime I need something, I'll buy it and I'll throw it in. But yeah, just different sizes, different odds and ends. I have an extra battery here. But yeah, these are the Harbor Freight socket trays, and it's just quick and easy. You're able to quickly get what you need. Little, gloves, torque wrench. The idea with this box is I didn't want to put very expensive stuff in, but at the same time, not the best torque wrench, but it does the job for torquing wheels down, torquing various stuff down. At the track, I got my breaker bar right here. Harbor Freight as well. Fits nicely right there. You never know when you're going to need it. I have Phillips's right here and flatheads right here. So I used a little label maker, and when you're at the track, so that way you're not really going through, so I just put the labels. This is my ratchets. I have this is pretty cool from Harbor Freight. It extends 1/4 inch drive on one side, 3/8 on the other, so that's pretty sweet. And then I just have all the ratchets, the Craftsman ratchets here. These are the USA stuff. I have this one. Not very good. I'm not a big fan of this. They always drop the sockets, so that's why I never really liked this one. But it was the one that I didn't like, so I just ended up putting it in here and bought another one for the other box. Long extensions right there. Various other extensions here, adapters, so on, swivels. You're always going to need a set of picks at the track. Trust me, they come in handy. Small screwdriver, stuff like that. If you run a car that has these are from Harbor Freight. Really good set to have as well on tap at the track. And then yeah, gotta have your bottle opener. That's a must. After track days, get a couple beers, relax. So, Sharpie, also important to have in a track box, and so on. I have a spare key in here just in case. It's always good to have one of those, and a magnet. So that's in this spot, and this one. This has Milwaukee charger for that. This is an old Craftsman drill. It's not that great, but it works, and the good thing is my impact that I use for the track, they share the same battery, so that way I don't have to get a separate battery and stuff. This is really good for track. It's not super strong. I have the high torque Milwaukee M18, but for track purposes, this is good. It has plenty of torque. The batteries last plenty long for an entire weekend. This is one I just got. I think it was like $40 or $50 from Home Depot, so I just bought this just to have an impact and stuff like that. So these go in here, and that's pretty much that drawer. Pliers and wrenches. Get yourself a pipe wrench. This comes in handy when I'm doing like tie rods and stuff at the track. That helps. Coilover wrenches. I got this set of pliers these are Craftsman. Let's see. These aren't the full-size pliers. These are more so the skinnier one, or the smaller version, but they do the job for what you need. Some side cutters. I have a AN10 wrench, because pretty much everything on the car is -10. And then I bought this set. This was a 3-piece set from Home Depot. Very good set. And then I got a channel locks. So these are also really good to have. So that's pretty much this drawer. So this one, kind of messy. I didn't organize it. I literally just opened it. So I have tire pressure gauge, brake compressor tool, hammer, and then I have, I usually, because when I load it and unload it from the truck, they all kind of move around, so I usually clean it up when I get to track. Knife, you never know when you're going to need to cut something. This is pretty cool. White Line, I got this from White Line years ago. They were giving them out at like a show. It's some calipers, but they're manual, and honestly, when you need to measure something like at the track very quickly, this is really, really good to have. And someone drops it, does whatever with it, doesn't really matter. Got your oil filter wrench. This is kind of cool to have, so that way you can measure if you're, trying to diagnose something at the track and whatnot. This is pretty cool. Camber caster gauge, and the legs for it are right here. These are for BMWs. These are the pads that go so you can jack, the jacking pads. A few other odds and ends, but yeah, I have 3 sets of wrenches here. So I have the swiveled ratchet. These are must. And then I have the non-swivel ratchet wrenches. And then I have a set of regular. It's always good to have, So those are the 3 sets that I take. But that's pretty much everything that's in here. In this drawer. And then final drawer. So this is kind of like the everything else for the most part drawer. I have a vest just in case you need to go out. Extra jack pad. These are for my LS, socks. I have extra, some extra parts. This is a cooking funnel from 99-cent store, but it works. If you need it on the track to do some oil, it definitely works, and it's $1. Worst case scenario, you throw it away, buy another one. I like that. These are from Home Depot as well. You got some drill bits and a little bit set, so good to have. They were super cheap. Let's see, some wire, some rivets, spare parts. Basically, anytime I'll buy a part, I'll buy 2. If something breaks, I'll buy 2, throw the part in here, put the other one on the car. This is really good to have for the alignment on the 46. I have a toe strap. These are really good, the mini WD-40 cans, just because you don't have to lug in a huge can. Extra ignition coil for the car. You gotta have this anytime you're on track. First aid kit. I got that from Simpson a couple years ago. I don't think they sell them anymore though, so kind of unfortunate. But first aid kit's always good to have. I have a bumper hanger for my 46. Spare spark plugs, water neck, some string for checking tow, various things, spark plug wires, scissors, Heim joints for my toe. What else? Yeah, pretty much all that. That's pretty much it here. Rivet gun. And I have some business cards, some flyers that I pass out for sponsors and stuff like that. So these are my advanced fuel dynamics. So pamphlets and stuff. This is pretty cool right here. This goes in the back of the transmission if you got to pull the drive shaft out at the truck so oil doesn't leak all over it. Teflon tape. Take stuff that you think that you might need at one point in time. So yeah, that's pretty much that for there. And then let me show you what's underneath. So gotta have your zip ties. This is the funnel for the coolant. Okay, spare brake fluid, spare ignition wires. I have just spare random parts. These actually haven't pulled them out from the other day at the track. Ignition coil right here. Extra hose, an extra pulley for the LS, brake cleaner, extra oil. You have to have extra oil. And just random odds and ends. And then I have this right here. This is really sweet. I put this together a while back ago with just random stuff that I need, that I could potentially need at the track, and it's come in handy. And this box is always growing. It doesn't actually ever stop. So let's see. There we go. I have, you know, spare axle nuts, spare bolts, random stuff that I might need. These are for the radiator mount, some Adele clamps, AN adapters, just random bolts and stuff. The self-tapping screws, some JB welds. For the track, JB quick. So that way you're in and out in 15 minutes. Red and blue Loctite, always good to have. I have a spare sensor there, spare harness and stuff like that. What else? Exhaust hangers, Velcro, random bolts that I need for the 46, some Scotch-Brite, an adapter. This is an adapter for a water neck for my radiator. More Velcro, spare O2 sensors, spare AN fittings and stuff in here. Hose clamps, spare toe strap, just in case you break one. Spare wheel studs. If I break them, I can replace them. Spare all the spare stuff, spare lug nuts, spare all that. So that's pretty much, yeah, so that's pretty much the box. It's simple. It's not super complete just yet. There's still, you know, some stuff that I need to do. I want to add like an electrical component to it. So basically like all the electrical pliers, all the, you know, all the terminals and stuff. So I was going to buy a kit on Amazon and kind of add it to this box. Just kind of random stuff like that. So as you go and you realize, oh, hey, that's not here, I'll add it to this box and I'll add it to the other box. So like, for example, this weekend, I did some wiring on the car, but I didn't have any terminals. And so I was like, okay. So luckily I was able to borrow it from one of the other guys at the track. But now it's like, okay, cool. I need to have my own. If it does happen again, I'm able to fix it. Stuff like that. And it's constantly evolving, and each box is going to look slightly different with specialty tools that you may or may not need at the track. But it gets beat up. Like this thing is, you know, on and off the track. So I don't know if I would recommend you get like an expensive one, but like the powder coat's already messed up on it. Like it's, the box is a few years old, but still it's one of those things like I'd rather, you know, not mess up a nice box and just mess this one up. A couple $100, you throw it away, buy another one. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe if you guys like this content. Please comment of anything that I may be missing. I hope you guys like this video, and hopefully this can kind of help put you on track in putting together a box of your own for the track. I actually roll this up into my truck and in the bed of my truck, and I roll it off. I use the ramps from Harbor Freight. They work perfect. They're like loading ramps for like $100, and I'm able to load it and unload it by myself at home. So it's not super inconvenient. It is heavy, but it's organized. It allows you to be able to work at the track and not have bags and totes and stuff and trying to find what goes where. Oh, this was here, this was there. And so eventually it's, you know, it runs out. So, but yeah, so, well, thank you for watching, and see you guys on the next one.